welcome to another edition of the Irish Rally Podcast in association with Tech and Tools and SVS Productions. Terry Hegarty, your man. If you're throwing a camera into a car for a rally, Terry is the man. Tech and Tools, your dedicated tools provider focused on diagnostic test equipment and specialised tools. Visit www.techandtools.ie for more information. Plenty coming up on the programme. Over the past couple of days, we spoke with Tommy Randles down in the beautiful kingdom of Kerry, obviously the Killarney Forestry Rally next weekend. So we had a chat with Tommy, who's gone in as chairman of Killarney District Motor Club, about the event, about what he hopes to achieve as chairperson, and a few other loose bits and bobs as well. And above all, it's a bit of crack. So as we record, we've had some pretty good news, in fairness. Breen and James Fulton, second in Sweden. What a weekend they've given us. And that's before we talk about Mr. Will Creighton and Liam Regan, who took the JWRC win. So fantastic stuff. And speaking of a global front, we begin the programme with these two buccos who are looking like they're having a great time overseas. And that's Niall Burns and Lorcan Moore. Gents, you're very welcome. How's things?
Hi, Gavin. What's the crack? How's it going?
Sure, look, I'm a little less worse off, I'd say, than you boys there at the minute. But Lorcan, I might start with you first. I'm open to correction on this. I think I may have branded you Mr. Worldwide last year. And if you go through your itinerary of the last week and a half, I think that might be an accurate enough title. But go through it for us and we'll see.
Cheers. No, we got a call last weekend back to test with Abdulaziz for this rally, but he kind of wanted to do a shakedown first, so we went to Portugal and we did 2 days of testing there. I was testing with Abdulaziz, who used to be Killian Duffy's driver, and Khaled Al Suwaidi, which is who Niall is sitting with, and I was back to back with them because just one co-driver. So that was a fairly hectic couple of days, but yeah, then connected through Madrid then, and now we're in Doha. So we've the Qatar rally this week, and Recce starts on Wednesday. So yeah, looking forward to it now. Should be good.
Yeah, and Niall, you got kind of a late call up. So Thursday you get a call, and as you record us now Sunday evening, and there you are in the Middle East, like.
You know, it's the way it goes sometimes. No, just got it. It's actually Dave Moynihan texted me out in my work. He says, "You much on next week?" And I said, "A bit of work." He says, "You fancy going to Doha?" And I was just like, "Right." And he mentioned the circumstances, and I said, "Oh, these opportunities don't come too often, so yeah, I'll take it." And here we go. Flew out there this morning actually. So I only landed there a couple of hours ago. Lorcan's here maybe a day or two before me there. So so. Getting ready for the Qatar International Rally this week. New event for me as well, with new driver, obviously, with Khaled Al Suwaidi. So hopefully we'll get a bit of testing time tomorrow with him and see how we get on.
Lorcan, from your point of view, I suppose Niall would have had a few days to breathe after Galway, right? But you pretty much down tools and were gone as of what? Was it Wednesday?
I were packing for a month there before Galway. So with Galway with a good friend of mine, Anthony O'Brien, and by the time all this is over and home for a day, and then off to France to do Rally Côte Fleurie with Daniel Barry in Skoda. So that fairly fills up February. So I have to be a bit organised in that front and get things planned. But yeah, be a busy month hopefully, and hopefully it all goes well.
Yeah, I think it's amazing the amount of ground you're covering in such a short time. But the thing that people have to remember that it's not just I can go at my own will. There is consequences. So there's annual leave you have to take. There's maybe unpaid leave. And most importantly, there's a boss that you would hope would be understanding. So I take it those boxes are ticked, and answer this carefully, because if not, I don't think you'd be here. And if you don't answer it carefully, you mightn't get back again. But all joking aside, lads, it is a factor, and people need to understand that, don't they? Whichever one you want to take it up there.
Yeah, look, it's from my own point of view, though, I probably haven't as much luck there this last couple of years with getting away with previous jobs and stuff like that. But my boss, to be fair, when I told him, look, I got this call, and he says, to be fair, there's not many people coming to the office and say they got an offer to go to Qatar, so they're fairly understanding with it. So I'm fortunate enough that way. But no, it is quite hard. And the thing is, as we're always told as co-drivers up and coming, when opportunities come up, you have to take them. Like, he's doing the right thing at the minute now, taking these couple of weeks, taking the chance and going, getting his experience. That's what it's all about. I done that for a good few years myself. Any call that came, that's how you build and build. But trying to get that employer to work with you to do that. And as we'd always say, like, you're not earning big money doing these type of rallies. You know, you need a day job. It's great going home doing this, like with bills, you need to be paid when you get home. So having that understanding employer is a godsend for being able to do the likes of this.
Yeah. You're a new boss at the end of the hallway. Yeah, I'm the same, but that's the best boss I ever had was Brendan Gumsky when I was working him in VW, because Brendan obviously understands rallying, and if you have to go, then it's just right, go on and enjoy it. So yeah, but yeah, I'm working in a different company now, and luckily one of the guys on my team, he plays hockey for South Africa, so he's playing the World Cup finals at the minute, so they can't really not give us the holidays. They're fairly understanding in that regards if you're pushing on with something, you know.
Yeah. Look, as I said, it definitely helps. You name dropped a gent there who obviously knows his rallying as a previous boss of yours, and that is a big help indeed. Like, but even logistically, guys, can you talk to me about how facilitating the whole process is? Because like, even just drop the money side of it. Like, I'm envisaging a situation where do you actually have to go and sort out your own flights and stuff, or is all this kind of laid on? How does that side of it actually work?
Fortunate enough that it's the Qatari Motorsport Federation that are actually kind of do the deals to supply the co-drivers to their drivers, so they actually take care of a lot of the logistics side for us. You do need obviously a visa to go out to Qatar as well, which they were very quickly to organise from both myself and Lorcan as well this week. So obviously mine was a bit more short notice than Lorcan, so they done mine more or less kind of overnight, which was very good of them. So no, they kind of take care of that, and they just try and arrange your flights and stuff like that, and accommodation and getting you back as well. So we're quite fortunate that way in this circumstance. It's not really much on us to take care of, really, you know.
Depends where you're going though,
yeah,
and what teams you're with and stuff. You might have to organise flights and that, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned Dave Moyne and you mentioned Cillian Duffy, and Cillian obviously enjoyed a great deal of success, didn't he, out there? So the rapport with Irish co-drivers, I mean, he's not the first two, I suppose, to go out. It's, you know, quite a long history of Irish co-drivers, going back to Ronan Morgan, even before that again, probably. Ronan's probably the standout one that everyone kind of mentions as maybe a trailblazer, but, you know, there does seem to be that good, I suppose, arrangement or relationship, wherever you want to put it, when Irish co-drivers go out there and compete, like.
You were kind of lucky, I suppose, that Chris Parsons' brother, David Parsons, actually the competitor relations officer for this event too. So, you know, he's been very helpful to me and Lorcan so far, giving us a few tips there. And obviously, James Fulton was actually out co-driving with Aziz.
The last rally.
The last time he done it out here as well. So James has been very helpful to us as well. Even been in Rally Suite, and he's sent us a message as soon as you finish the things to look out for, which we're very thankful for as well. But I think that's the rally co-driving community. Like, everyone helps each other out in these kind of situations too, and you're always learning from someone else's experiences out there too. And that's great to see, and that's what rallying's all about, you know.
Mm-hmm. Can we get a word on the achievements? Obviously, you would have heard in the intro there, and fantastic news. I mean, the whole weekend, from my point of view, I was away and I was just stuck to the phone because, God, we were in for a serious roller coaster. But to do what William and Liam have achieved, and if you look at Craig as well and what he's been through, and the partnership, the new partnership he's forging, this is pretty incredible stuff, guys, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose, like, for a small country, the lads are packing some punch on the world front, you know, and fair dues to them. And get Eamon Kelly and Connor out as well.
Yeah.
Juniors and finding their feet too. So, yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and Niall, in fairness, from Eamon's point of view, I mean, they obviously had a difficult enough weekend, but he always strikes me as the type of guy that you chalk it down to experience, make note, move on. Very, very shrewd, very sensible for a kid as well, like.
I think if you look at William and Liam's approach to the JWRC, they're, like, correct me if I'm wrong, it's maybe their third year taking the championship. I think maybe third, fourth year. Like, they've been there, they've learned their events, they've done their homework, they've built their speed. This was their year, their homework's done. Now it's time to bang in the results, and they've done it straight away. And you have to give Eamon Kelly his credit too. Like, you know, obviously going on to snow, it's a very different source with you. He done the Arctic Rally a couple of weeks ago there with Matt Edwards, which is a great move to get his valuable advice and stuff like that. So they're going about it the right way. But if there's, you look at Craig Breen and James Fulton, like how well they've gelled in their second event together there, it's fantastic to see. And, you know, like, obviously I know James for a number of years. He's fantastic co-driver. It's just great to see him at the world stage. You know, he's gifted co-driver, and I just really hope now this is just the start of things to come, and hopefully he'll be on that top step very soon too.
Lorcan, the NY Rally Academy, then, when you see what William has done, that's a huge boost for a lot of hard work and a lot of money that's gone into that. And I know John Kine will be a big name centered around it. You know, it is a big thing today.
It is. Yeah, it's when you have the likes of Rory and James and Paul Nagel, Greg, Killian, all these guys from a co-driver point of view, if you have any questions or that, they're at the end of the phone or on a WhatsApp, whereas...
I'd say Niall's all right too, is he, every now and then?
Thanks. I was wondering what I was going to get mentioned there. Yeah. You're on your own this weekend.
Big Niall here. Yeah, but I mean, these are the boys that you were idolising, 10, 15 years ago.
Oh, thanks.
And now they're here to help you out. So, not as great. And then you have the other side of it too, where we have fitness and nutrition support as well from some really good guys and David Nutrition on that as well. So, it's just trying to make yourself as presentable as a package as you can and kind of get all sides of not just the co-driving right,
Lorcan, can I ask, how accountable is everyone for all that's laid on? So when I say that, I mean it in terms of whether it's having a chat with Alan Heary, or whether it's like sticking to whatever Davey has done up for you in terms of the nutrition side of it, the gym program. How accountable actually are you for that? Or is it just, right lads, here's the material, follow it, or if not, sure, I mean, you'll find out soon enough that maybe you're not achieving what you could achieve.
Yeah, no, they measure everything. I mean, what gets measured gets managed. So every month we would have our fitness checks, and we kind of have goals to set or things like that. And same with the nutrition as well. We would have a monthly check-in with our own nutritionist. So everything is measured as we go along, and just little increments all the time, but try and do our best to improve by a tenth of a percent. Anything that's an improvement,
Yeah, look, as the saying goes, consistency is key. Niall, there's not too many mornings you won't see you with an Instagram post at 6 a.m. in the gym. I'd say if you lifted a few weights instead of taking pictures, you might be bigger again, I'd say. But I'm only cotton. But in fairness,
down here, not get bigger. Come on.
No, but in fairness, all joking aside, you are in the gym quite regularly too, and you stick to it. Obviously, with this kind of crack in mind, it has its benefits in day-to-day life. Obviously, you feel better. All that ties into it, but it keeps you sharp, I think, most of all, doesn't it?
But like coming out for like a late call with the likes of this too, where you're going to be getting like high temperatures in the car and stuff like that too, it does help to have the fitness about, because with your full gear on, we're probably looking at temperatures maybe 27, 28, maybe 26, something like that. And they're long enough stages too. Some of them, I think we're talking maybe 24K is the longest stage. Like, to keep your concentration and all that too, you do the element of fitness does help. And as I say, like, when you get late calls like this, that's not in the back of your mind. Look, I have my base level of fitness there. My training's been in there. I don't have to worry about that side of things. I can just focus more on the co-driving side of things, thank God, and the rest should sort itself out.
It is very reassuring, isn't it? Most of all, like, you know you have the work done. Guys, we're wrapping up now shortly, right? But how do you envisage this week kind of panning out? Like, what is the hopes or expectations for both of you?
I was actually chatting to Ziz about this today. We don't actually have a set, you want to be second or you want to be third, or it's very hard. I mean, in our team we have Mickelson, Osberg, Emil Lindholm, to name a few. Then there's our two drivers and obviously you have Nasser Latia as well, who basically wins every desert rally that's going. So we're just going to try and do our best. It's going to be very hard to put a number on how well you think you're going to get on, but I think if we just focus on doing our job and get on well, the results will figure themselves out, you'd hope.
Yeah. Success is always relative too. I mean, at the end of the day, it's always that old smart thing, the reasonable, achievable targets and stuff. And I think once you set those and you do achieve them, you won't always do it, you can come away feeling pretty pleased, and everything else is a bonus. Like, It
looks like it's going to be quite difficult. Just looking from previous in-cars, maps, things like that. The merges of the junctions in the desert. I mean, at home you come to a junction and you have a sign and left is left and right is right. It's not like that here. You have 6 junctions and half of them are roads probably and half of them desert paths and whatever. So going off that, it's going to be hard. But like what Niall was saying there, if you're concentrated and when you come to it and it's 100 mile an hour and you're taking the right junction, you just got to trust that you've done your work beforehand.
Last question. Go on, Niall, you're going to say something there, yeah?
I think the recce is going to be the crucial thing here. Like, obviously, like, these stages are very new to myself and Lorcan here. The boys have brought them a couple of years too, but the recce is going to be very crucial for the likes of ourselves, because it's a really different experience navigating these type of terrains. Like, we have no landmarks out here, we've nothing like that, so we really have to be more dialed in on the recce possibly than we've ever really been before, because we have to be so switched on with the driver. And as Lorcan was saying, like, just from watching onwards, the different variations of the junctions and stuff like that, like, so we have to be very switched on out here this weekend. And I think also, like, for the likes of me sitting with Caleb and him with disease, it's great for them to see the likes of Mickelson, Emmy Lindholm, and Oscar coming out here, you know, as benchmarks as well. Like, don't get me wrong, Nasser's a fantastic benchmark over here, but if them boys here as well, our drivers are going to train up their game too, because they won't want them lads coming over here, you know, taking local honours away from them as well. So, like, it is going to be very difficult and demanding event on both of us. But look, that's what we're here for. It's all about the challenge, and we're up for it, and we're looking forward to it.
Just last word to you, Niall, in relation to Galway, which I didn't really ask you much about. Johnny, obviously inside in the new machinery, much of a difference from the old car, and were you happy enough in general with how the whole thing panned out?
I think, you know, like, the car didn't arrive till the Wednesday of the event, so there was very little time to get really dialed in and everything else. So, you know, it was just go up and go, look, we'll see what we can do there, you know. But in fairness, Johnny clicked into it very well. We started making changes the weekend went on. I think when you seen probably this later part of Sunday, he really started to get more comfortable, and as the times did, like, we had a really good battle with Callum Devine there towards the end of Sunday. I think there was 0.6 seconds going into the last stage. He was ahead, and I think we ended up beating him by 2 on the last stage, just to nip into fourth there, which was a great result. And the car is a very good package there. You know, there's a lot of potential there, and that we've seen in Galway, and we're certainly going to try and get a lot more out of it now in the West Cork Rally all going well.
Good stuff. You weren't frustrated with Black Road not going the first time around? It might seem like a loaded question, but I'm asking it because I always ask a straight and fair question here. Some competitors felt it should have ran, some felt it was the right decision, and equally there was a lot of frustration around the day prior to that, which I can't consolidate or confirm, but there is a lot of rumours going around there or whatever. But I'm led to believe what I'm saying is a lot of competitors felt a little bit frustrated. Were you one of those competitors that felt a bit frustrated?
When you first heard it, you were thinking, oh, come on, guys. But then when you actually seen how bad the ice was in a particular place, it was the right call. Yeah, I have no doubt in my mind it was the right call that they made. Like, they're in a very difficult situation to make that call. And look, as competitors, we're going to get frustrated. Look, it's a stage we look forward to every year. And, you know, we were all going with them. We actually seen how bad the ice was coming into the downhill section. You know, it was not running and taking a chance. And I think they did make the right call in the end up. And, you know, credit to them, because it was a difficult decision to make. But look, at the end of the day, we have to respect what the officials say. You know, they have a tough task in their hands, and we have to trust that they're doing right by us. So, look, I think it was the right decision in my own personal opinion.
Good stuff. I had to finish with a bit of a cliffhanger there, didn't I, of course? So you're getting nice and handy up to that. And listen, I appreciate your honesty.
Appreciate it, cheers.
We still friends, yeah. No, look, boys, we'll leave it at that. Enjoy the whole thing, and thanks for jumping on with us here, all right?
Thanks, Kevin.
There's it.
Flat one right over crest. Go, 150. 150, go. Flat, one left at the bottom. Go on, it's flat, 60. For 2 left. Get your break done. Big push down here now. Flat one right over crest.
We're here in the River Island Hotel in the lovely Castle Island, and with the new chairperson of the Killarney District Motor Club, Mr. Tommy Randles. It's mad who you might bump into when you're in around the area. But Tommy, when I was in town for a wedding, I said, Jesus, it'd be remiss of me not to give you a shout, especially with the Forestry coming up next week. But how's all with you since we last spoke?
Very good, Kevin. Thank you. No, we're getting ready now. Adrian Crone and his team for the Forestry Rally, the first round. 3 terrific stages, great entry, and a great junior class. So, yeah, that's
all systems go.
All systems go.
Yeah. Great, of course, for I suppose the club to be hosting the first round of the Sligo Pallets Irish Forestry Championship, and as you said, a couple of really good stages. Not too far away from here.
No. Just outside Castle Island there, up around that side of the country. Yeah, not too far away. No.
Yeah. So
6 or 7 miles out the road.
Before we chat about that a little bit more, going in as chairperson now in the Killarney District Motor Club, I had a chat with you off air to make sure you hadn't actually held that role before. How did it come about? What were your expectations, and is reality meeting them?
I'm not really sure, but no, I've been around the rallies for a long time, and I was made a director of the club there a couple of years ago, and got probably more involved in the running than ever, because we always, we were competing when we were involved in the club and do our bit for the club and did the master and did all that down through the years, but never was in the organisation side big time. Dermot Lynch, my navigator, he would have been more involved in the club than I would have been. But then when I became a director and see the enormous amount of work that goes into the club, and anybody should be involved, to be honest. And so then it came about, and I don't know, my name came up as chairman anyway, and we got elected there in recent AGM. So here I am, and I suppose this time, like, I've gone up Malls Gap many times and done the Killarney Lakes many times. I got a lot of pleasure out of it. So I read the book years ago by Russell Brooks, Stage by Stage, and he said there's always a time when you give something back. Mm-hmm. So now this is I wouldn't be doing much rallying now, or a little bit, but like, we give something back to the sport and back to the club that we get a lot of pleasure of. So that's part of why I'm here.
Yeah, I'd imagine the body of work is quite heavy and quite relentless at times, perhaps.
Oh, it is, yeah. Like, and I mean, you need a bit of time for it, but there is a great crew there now, and I have great people around me, and it is a great club. And while everything needs work and to keep it going, Killarney are running 3 terrific rallies now. We have the first round of the Forestry, and then we have the International Rally, the Lakes, and then we have a historic rally. So we're just after a very, very, very successful historic rally. Yeah. As you can remember, Anthony O'Connor was the COC for that and had a great team, and Adrian Cronin now is the COC for this rally and is running an excellent event as well, and I know it will be very successful. And Dermot Healy will be running he's the COC for the Lakes coming, and again, that will be, as soon as the Forestry rally is over, it's all efforts goes into that. Because
it is quite a quick turnaround, Tommy, isn't it? Like, you're talking 3 months odd.
Yeah,
less probably.
An awful lot goes on in the thing, but people, there's great workers in the club, great organisers in the club, and they're not afraid to get their shoulder to the wheel, and the products, the rally shows it. Do you know what I mean? Great organisation.
I think, as the saying goes, you are the sum of your parts at the end of the day, aren't you? Like, that's the holy all of it, and you come in and you build a team of people around, and where possible, you don't want energy vampires, because all it takes is one, and then the whole thing goes if you're not pulling in one direction. And that's the same for every organisation, I think. But you seem outwardly to have a very good thing going on there. So you're not going to go anywhere anyway, but you do, that sort of way.
Yeah, we do, like, and like, the club is there over 40 years, like, it's there since 1979. The club was there, like, so. And there's a lot of people come and go, and the club's like, we're here for a short period, as for the link of the club, do you know what I mean? Couple of years, everybody, and all I'll be trying to do is to pass on a club as good and even better than what I got, do you know what I mean? And keep it growing and keep raising the standards of everything, and like, keep the events alive and keep, have something for the next people that are coming down the road, do you know what I mean? Leave a good map behind us, do you know what I mean? That's the plan, do you know what I mean? And if we can see areas where we can improve, I mean, it's all tweaking and things like that, because there is a massive burden of work to do in the club now to run these rallies. Like, I mean, the safety side of the rallying is huge. Yeah. The roads, the bales, the organisation. If the team are not working together, it will not work. Simple as that. And you need the team working together, and that's the goal and the plan.
Well, knowing you from your driving days, you were all in, fully committed, didn't spare anything, and I've no doubt that those traits will stand you in good stead with this as well. So the very best luck. What's the term on it? Is it 3 or 5? Or is it just
could be that chat to the next week? There's no guarantee. In fact, we'll be having we had a lot of work to do this year now to align different things with More Sport Ireland, because things are changing all the time. So there's there's no long-term contract, so we better make an impact while we're here anyway. So I won't give no lifespan in it. Yeah. Next AGM maybe, but hopefully we'll stay around as long as we were wanted and needed by the club. Do you know what I mean? You know, so
take it.
No limit on it.
Take it every day, as the fella said. The entry list, obviously, for the Forestry was released in the past couple of days. It is quite healthy. We speak regularly about how great the J1000 concept is, and it is fabulous. And if you look at the calibre of navigators that are sitting in with these guys, with Carl Egan on the shoulder, the night top guy, Gary Kieran sat in with his cousin Danny Brady last year. I think Gary's actually out in a Mitsubishi next weekend, Tom. But it's great. It's providing a platform for drivers to come into the sport, to push on. And Jesus, like, if I at 13 years of age had that opportunity, I think it's amazing. And like, couldn't say kind enough, and I'm sure you've similar sentiments yourself.
Oh yeah, a fantastic concept. There's no doubt about it. I mean, like, to be able to sit into a car and have a platform like from 13, 14. I think Cahill or Charlie Brown from Donegal. Cahill does my car performance car, Power Performance. They are. I think he's young, like 14 years of age. I think whatever. I mean, it's a brilliant concept, and like, you know, once they keep the cost down and keep the cars even, and the youth is the future of our sport, like, and we need a channel for the youth to come in through the bottom, and like, starting in the Forestry with experienced navigators behind them. What better way? I mean, it's a brilliant concept. Yes, 100% behind it, because that's the future of our sport. The young drivers coming in the Junior 1000. Once the costs are kept even, like, you don't want, like, you need, you know, it has to be extremely affordable, because when you were 15 or 16, I mean, we all bought our own cars when we were 15, as in road cars, you know what I mean? You know, you know, those young fellas trying to put a few pounds together and get a car, like, if the car goes crazy, then they can't come in. So just keep the costs down, keep them even, and yes, without a doubt, fantastic.
I think based on that, cost is obviously a huge thing at the minute for every club, and there's obvious difficulties with that. But even within, we'll say, one-mate challenges and things. So we had the Cars years ago. We had the Seat Super 6, which had fantastic drivers over in the UK. Your Mark Fishers, your Stevie Whitfors, all these guys. When you look at the actual junior categories in every rally, there is distinctions between cars. They're not always on an even keel, even though they're in that category. I feel it would be a huge benefit myself if there was something there to make that as even as possible and let the best man win. I'm not quite sure, is that, in your opinion, in place at the minute from a platform point of view?
Are you talking about the Junior 1000s?
No, just in general, to have a one-mate challenge, to have something, a class where people are on an even keel, and if it is an introductory thing into rallying for younger cohort or whatever, separate the J1000 and separate the junior thing, which I appreciate. I did kind of shoehorn into that comment, but if you could have a separate thing that is completely even and see who the best man is.
Oh yeah.
I feel personally we probably don't have enough of that at the minute. Probably not.
No. Probably not. Like, I mean, money in motorsport will always be an issue, because it's so expensive. Now, you can't stop people spending. If somebody wants to spend money in motorsport,
oh yeah, sure. You had it yourself to spend, I suppose.
You know, I mean, but like, even and that goes for all the ways up along the classes. But definitely, yes. Like, I mean, when if you want to find the real talent, and if you want to move the real talent forward, well, then out of that bunch of competitors, the cars have to be as even as possible. Otherwise, you can fool the system by somebody having all the gizmos, and he could be shining, but he wouldn't be the most naturally talented driver. So to get the natural talent to the front, the cars have to be as close as humanly possible. And I mean, to do that properly, you'd have to have them scrutinized to the last. You know what I mean? That every car is the same. But without a doubt, if you want to be fair in the sport, the cars have to be very, very even.
Yeah. The other thing I'd love to ask you about is a kind of a contradiction to that comment in some ways, or to that statement. But when you look at Ireland in general, not just in rallying, there is a huge element of begrudgery out there, right? And you might hear comments like, "Oh, sure, sorry for that lad. He's a heap of money up there." And occasionally, I think, yeah, I can understand why someone would say that, but a lot of those guys might have had to work pretty hard to be in a position to have the money, or if not, their father might have had to. And I often think about that. It's never. I don't think we've ever discussed it from that point of view. So I'd love to get your kind of thoughts on that as well. You know, we have a fierce tendency to knock, don't we? Even though it's a small.
Oh yes, we would.
community.
I mean that is part of human nature. I think
Yeah,
if Johnny buys a farm down the road,
Yeah,
sure, look, he got it from an aunt, or he got it from a legacy, or he got it. They
Yeah.
don't want to say he earned it. You know what I mean?
No, no,
You know,
no.
there's only for this or only for that. But going back to rallying, like money, you have to have, like, if you have no money, you can't do nothing with it.
Yeah.
You have to have a level of money.
Mhm.
But when you get up there, and when you get, like, the money, we'll take Craig Breen, for instance.
Mm.
Craig Breen is winning a rally right now. What an excellent, like, for Irish rally. He's
Mm.
winning a rally.
Mm.
Well, he's driving that car today through the snow outside in Sweden. If he had 100 million in the bank and behind him, it would be absolutely no use to him when he's steering the wheel down through that.
Mm.
He's driving that. He's pure talent, his drive and his ambition.
Mm.
And like he has had tough times
He has.
in different ways.
Yeah.
Maybe not financially, but in different ways.
Yeah, personally and emotionally, you know.
Yes, and like, I mean, to lose his navigator
Yeah.
and the journey they started out so early, it'd be very easy for him and like that. But his drive and his perseverance is what has him winning that rally today. I can imagine like winning that rally in as we speak. I don't know if he's still leading the rally, but
As we record, yes.
yeah. And like, so when it comes, like, where the money can get you off the ground and it can get you along, but when it comes to the end, and we see it in Formula One, people buy in a seat, but they don't go no further. Like, like Michael Schumacher had no money growing up, and he was one of the most successful. So it can hold you back, and it can push you forward. So it's a journey you're traveling. So at one stage, the money gets you forward.
Yeah.
If you have no money that stage, your time will pass, because you know what I mean, because you can't afford to do it. So your opportunity comes. But when you get there, when you get to the top, it doesn't matter how much you have. It's pure driving ability and speed. So, like, Craig Breen deserves to where he is this minute, like, done more than anyone. And I'd love to see him winning. But like, so the money, and the begrudgery of the money, like, you can't. There's no way around talking about it. But at the end of the day, when all the cars are the same, and when everybody has an R5, well, the first fellow with an R5, he can win the rally. But when everybody has an R5, it's back to the driver again.
Yeah.
So it's back and forth. But you will, like, it's very difficult to get place in motorsport without a certain level of money, because it's a money sport. So it's different to football or hurling. You can or even cycling. You know, your talent. But in the motorsport, unfortunately, we need money to get going.
Yeah, it's interesting you use them as the example and with the money, but the irony is we were talking about begrudgery as well, and a lot of people knocked Craig last year. A lot of Irish people were saying, "Oh, he's not up to it. He's not this. He's not that. He can't handle the pressure." And I find that ridiculous, to be honest with you. And again, comes back to it. We're world champions of putting people down at times, like, but it's fantastic to see him doing so well. And Will Creighton is doing pretty good as we record in the JWRC as well. So hopefully the guys can hold on. Tom, I appreciate we don't have the whole day there, right? But we what do you call it? What I would like to ask you about is an issue which have come up quite a lot over the last couple of years, and it's what do you call it? We'll say the TV programs for rallies versus the live action that we would have saw in Galway at the weekend. Now, my own thoughts on this, and it hasn't changed, is that I think with that content that's available, there is scope to make a TV program. But obviously, the caveat to that is the additional cost, which I don't know the additional cost, to be quite honest with you. But I would know that probably to send people down and capture the footage that the live guys are doing might not be too dissimilar. So I would be very interested to find out what the difference is. But what I'm saying is, I don't really feel it should be one over the other. I don't think there's a need for it. I think you can actually do both. But what way do you feel about that currently, having maybe seen Galway last weekend, and I suppose the lack then of TV stuff over the past couple of years.
Well, for me personally, like, and I've seen, like, Ireland is a small country, right? So and rallying is a huge industry in Ireland at the moment. You know, it's healthy at the moment, like. But going forward, like, you need the mix of the three. Do you know what I mean? You need what you do yourself. You need the podcast. You need the live thing on the day, but you also need the television coverage. And like, look at Formula One. Like, look at Bernie Eccleston into Formula One. Formula One, like, is a huge sport now. And like, they had full television like the whole weekend. So like, for sponsors, for everyone, like, a rally comes to the town, so the town benefits, and it comes to the town for the weekend. It's not 2 hours of a football match or 1 hour or 2 hours of a concert. It's from a Friday to nearly a Monday it is. So the live podcast on the day for the enthusiasts is fantastic. I mean, I was like that. And you know, what you do yourself and keeping people informed and having interviews and keeping people up to date and being number one podcast in sport in Ireland is a remarkable achievement. But then the program, the television program, to me anyway, it's a must. And that's my solid belief, the television program. And like, you take the Rentokil initial rally that we recently had now, that has grown, like, I mean, bombing with with entries.
Yeah.
And the work that Mick Bracken on the Limit television program and Mike O'Mahony, they have done, like, they're like that. That's the proof of the pudding. And like, if you go, like, that program goes out in nearly 40 countries. Like, imagine 40 countries, a live 1 hour program goes out. I mean, imagine I mean, you know, the government and sports funding should be, you know, we should utilize the system a lot more.
Yeah.
And if there's anything we can do while I'm in this position, I'll try and go do something towards that. But we do need our television program. Every other, like, we have soccer's on television, football is on television, horse races on television, rugby's on television, boxing's on television. We need our rallying on television. And like, you know, all the cameramen, the people, you know, the working in the industry, there's a huge industry, you know, preparing cars, there's welding, spraying, all that. It's a huge industry now. It's not just a bunch of, you know what I mean? It's a huge, the cars are like brand new WRC cars. And now we have the Junior 1000 coming in as well. So for me, yes, it's time for everyone to sit together. So we need a round table talk. We don't need opposition to each other. We're great talent. We have all the talent. We don't need anything new. It's there, sit around together with Motorsport Ireland and with Sports Ireland, the whole lot, and have a decent conversation for a proper way forward and put a plan to go forward, covering all aspects. So that's really, but definitely we need full television for our motorsport. I'm rallying anyway.
Just as you mentioned, Mike O'Mahony, I would like to give him a shout out while we're talking, because I believe he may have stepped away from Rentokil Initial after something like 40 years or something. So as long as Killarney District Water Club's been in existence, Mike was working for Rentokil in along the same timeline. So I mean, Jesus, without Mike, I would say the club would have been lost. You know, he's
fantastic. Like, Mike is a very enthusiastic, driven character. He's a get up and go and do guy. Do you know what I mean? You know, and he was involved in the main rally last year, but mainly it was the historic rally, like, and all the names he brought and all the cars he supported. A massive supporter in rallying. Any club in the country would love to have a Mike O'Mahony, and he has retired. You know, he has retired. I don't know what he's going to do, because he's a lively character of a man. But no, Mike has been brilliant to the club and to rallying. And to the and I'm talking about television, like, you know what I mean? Mike has proven. He has tried different things, and they've proven that the biggest return on their sponsorship is the television program. So, like, if anyone wants to talk about television and figures, talk to Mike O'Mahony, like, you know, and he has no, and I mean that you know, the Rentokil initial name. We never heard it before the rally.
No.
I mean, we heard of it, but
I know you see the van everywhere because of it.
Like that. So, like, it has. We all know who it is, and like, it's a household name. like that. Do you know what I mean? Do you know, so
Absolutely.
yeah, no, I must thank Mike from the bottom of my heart for what he's done for the Killarney District Motor. Has been a brilliant supporter of the team.
And the best luck to Mike as well.
Yeah.
Last question, very last question, which I just thought of on the back of that now. What position, I don't know if you're obliged or in a position to say, what position is the Lakes and the Historics in terms of sponsorship now? Maybe you're not at a stage where you can announce anything. I don't know if there's anything in place, but it's obviously something you've had to think about with Mike gone now from Rentokil.
Well, Mike was more the
Historics.
Yeah.
But he
was involved in the Lakes last year.
Yeah.
But right now this minute that's ongoing. Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. So there's no like in the Forestry rally here now. We have Cyril Watton of Watton Plant Tire and Repairs, and we've Niall Murphy of Castle Island Tire Centre and River Island Hotel here. You know what I mean? So, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Niall and thank Cyril, and they supported last year as well. And this rally is ran for a charity, and last year it handed over almost 60,000 to the air ambulance, and it's been run for the same cause this year. So that's what we're giving back. You know, the Killarney Motor Club are giving back to rallying, like, you know what I mean? So we've 3 rallies, and where we tend to run the Forestry as for a charity. We to give something back. It's great. We always give something back. Do you know what I mean? So, and I mean, the air ambulance is and it's a ground associated cruise that, you know what I mean? So that that's getting back to the original question, the sponsor for the Lakes is being worked at the moment. So there's no name yet anyway.
Well, look, hopefully everything works out. Tommy, it's been a real pleasure. Thanks for taking the call and coming to meet me, because Kerry's a massive county and you're down in Kenmare direction, which is about a good hour from here. I won't lie, I am happy that you decided to come to Castle Island and didn't have to go to Kenmare or Killarney. I am quite ropey this morning, so I really enjoyed the chat though. So thanks, man.
No bother.
You won't give out to me now. I know you said Pendy Rickle, I didn't buy you a company. I didn't pay for it either, but we're not going to follow, are we?
No. We'll meet again.
Thanks a million, Tommy. We'll give a shout out to Tech and Tools and to SVS Productions for coming on board with us for this year. We do have some sponsorship available, slots available. If you still want to come on board, IrishRallyPodcast@gmail.com or send us a DM. But we'll chat to you again very, very soon indeed.